Greetings. Good afternoon, good day, my good people. It's your boy Art Czar back with you live in effect with a Coach reveal. Okay, this is an item that I picked up a couple of weeks ago from Coach. I would like to say it's one of my favorite items, although I have many that I will be reviewing over the course of time. I'd like to first start off by giving a shout out to my guy, Curtis Solar. He has a wonderful channel. You guys need to go and check him out. He reveals and reviews various items from wonderful exotic shoes to wonderful muslin crafted calfskin items, different types of exotic leathers, crocodile skins, and things like that. And he also reviews different types of watches from Invicta. I think he's an Invicta guy, watching a lot of his content. So guys, check him out. He has a wonderful page. So, so back to what we got here. This is a 1941 Coach item from the 1941 collection. This is a collection that comes out every now and then. They don't keep this item or this particular collection on its shelves repeatedly. You have to go back in the archives and find it sometimes. Sometimes they have it via online, and sometimes it's just completely not there. So you're lucky when a 1941 item pops out. You'll see this is in the dust bag that comes equipped with Coach purchases. So in essence, this is the 1941 Coach Musette Bag, Mussette, I believe it's spelled. This was a bag that was popularized in the late World War II, World War I, World War II era, where a lot of the GIs, the Army, and the Marines would carry these particular canvas version of these bags, and they would be able to carry them for short distances with, just everyday items like food and ammo and things like that, maps and whatever else they wanted to put in their water, canteens or whatever, And that bag, the canvas version, you can find this online. You can look on Amazon, and there are different places like that. There's a couple of people on YouTube doing some reviews on that bag, but it's the same version of this bag, but only in a canvas, that dark green, that iconic dark green canvas that the military uses, the Army uses. So, and you can also use that bag for a backpack, and you can convert it because of the different positionings of the shoulder attachments, or the attachments where you can actually assemble the straps. So this bag does not give you the ability to turn it into or convert it into a backpack, which is okay. I actually like the shoulder version of this bag because it's a little bit more elegant than a backpack type of bag anyway. This is more of a side bag. You can actually strap it across your shoulder and wear it onto your back, but it's obviously a crossbody type of bag. Or you can do a single shoulder carry on this bag as well. So basically, with all said and that done, let's go ahead and break this out of the bag. It's the first time I've actually broken this out. I have not even removed it from the bag before. I removed it, I did an unboxing on this bag, but I never took it out of once I unboxed it, I put it in the bag and stored it. I didn't even take anything off of it, the fittings and all that. Everything is still pretty much intact from getting it out of the bag. Now, the first thing I wanted to point out after removing this thing is the size of it. This bag is not a huge bag. It's not one of the largest bags you'll ever see in your life. It actually is moderately sized. I believe personally, this is a very well put together item. You can carry this item for very, very good distances without it being too bulky or too overbearing on your side or your back, or however you want to carry it, or carrying it by the handle. It's not that type of item, but it can fit a very generous amount of your personal belongings, whether it being a laptop or water bottles, snacks, or whatever you want to put in here, books, various types of electronics, headphones, or whatever it is that you do when you travel or you go to your business meetings, or whatever your needs are, iPad or iMac, or in my case, of course, a Windows Surface 7 Pro. But anyway, okay, so the first thing I want to point out is the contrast stitching on this bag. As you can see, the stitching on this bag is very, very, very prominently pronounced. Definitely the type of thing where if you look and see here, the gold thick stitching, and I believe this is the thread they use for a lot of the sailboat sails. It's not the typical clothing thread. This is some really, really thick thread. Don't know what it's made of. It's probably nylon of some sort, but it is very, very thick. very, very well stitched into this particular bag, and you can see along the flap areas here. Get my focus going on. Yeah. So along the flap areas, you can see here that stitching, that contrast stitching to the black, it looks very, very nice. It pops. It's like gold and black. It's like a Pittsburgh Steeler type of thing. But it has that nice contrast stitching along the flap, the flap that holds the bag in place. You can see the all brass turn locks on this particular item. Of course, embossed with the Coach insignia. And so basically the handle is the same way. The handle at the top has the same particular thing going on. Has that nice brass stitching going on, that brass fittings going on. And obviously, this is the type of thing that is going to stand the test of time. You may have to polish it every now and then because it may dull up on you or something like that. Because it's brass, it's not gold or silver, whatever. It's gonna probably tarnish a little bit over time. If you maintain this bag very well over the years, it's going to be in beautiful condition one way or the other. So the first thing I want to show is, obviously, you already see the size of this bag. It's probably about, I would say about 15 inches wide, 16 inches wide. I would say about, I'll give it about 9 or 10 inches in height. And I would also give it about, from the top of the bag, I'd probably say, if it were up to me, I'd probably say it's, in more cases or another, it's probably about 2 inches wide this way. And then in terms of, it spreads out as it gets deeper. So it goes from about 2 inches to about 3 inches to about 4 or 5 inches at the base. Okay? So you're getting a very, very nice trajectory of depth in this bag. It's definitely not going to be some little skinny or slim brief or anything like that. It's going to give you a lot of room. So unbuckling the turn locks, you'll see. Now, again, let's talk about this. The grain pattern on this leather. I'm telling you, this is some of the most supple and smooth leather I've ever touched. This is some really good stuff. I mean, 1941 line has this real thick leather. Definitely different from the stuff that they're producing now. The stuff they're producing now in the regular line is a little flimsier than this. It's not as thick. Some of it is. The pebble leathers can be a little thicker. But this stuff, as you can see, if you can get real close up on the grain pattern of this stuff, you'll see. You can wrinkle it, and you can see that the okay, my camera can get a nice little focus on this stuff. This is some of the best, most thick and subtle, or let's just say supple leather that you can actually get your hands on. You see the glare and the sheen on this stuff is really nice. Nice finish on this stuff. And when you open this bag, one thing you're going to notice is on the reverse flap of this, it's more like a suede. So they've surfaced this bag on the inside or the interior of it to have a variation of the leather on the backside. This is probably the underbody of the cow. Everyone knows that when you cut leather, you have your top grain, you have your full grain, and then on the underbody is where your suede and stuff lies. So this is what they did. They took the underbody and they nicely sanded that down, and you can see obviously the contrast stitching all the way through from the underside of that flap right here. And so it goes all the way through. This is a very nice texture of this bag. It's nice and smooth. It's not rough or anything. It's coarse, but smooth at the same time. So I'm pretty sure it seems to be a kind of water resistant, if I'm looking at it accurately or not. So as you go into this bag, you'll notice that contrast stitching goes all the way through and throughout, even on the under clamps of the security clamp here for the opening of the bag. That contrast stitching again goes all the way through. You can see here. You have two big pockets on the front. Okay, these pockets are, like I said before, you have a double pocket on this side. Matter of fact, it's actually a one pocket, but it's a double pocket. It's a two-pocketed side of the bag. Now, these pockets are deep and wide enough to where you can actually stuff different items in here, like your phone chargers or your actual phone itself. You can store, like your external hard drives, like your AirPod case and things like the keys. Maybe a wallet can slide in there without a problem. Yeah, wallets can go in there. Maybe travel wallets. If you're going to the airport, for most guys, you want quick access to something like this. You can get your passport out. This will easily hold your passport, your wallet, your ID, your credit cards, all that good stuff. Easily fit in this pocket. Same texture on this side of the bag as it is on the back side flap here that we've already looked at. Going into the interior of the bag, you open it up. Again, you have a lot of room in here. I have not unpacked it with all of this stuffing that they put in here. You have your two interior pockets on the inside here. You have this pocket and this. You have both of these pockets that can store even more items, as we discussed a moment ago. You can probably get of course, your phone will go in there, keys and things like that, stick a pack of chewing gum, your wet wipes, all that good stuff. One of the other things I like to mention on this particular item is this zipper compartment. First of all, this brass fitting zipper is so smooth. It's buttery smooth. It's probably one of the highlights of a Coach product or any upscale product. It has this nice glide on it. It just doesn't catch, man. You can unzip this thing 1,000 times. It's going to do what it's supposed to do. It's not going to malfunction and the funny thing about it is the teeth on the zipper is as shiny as it is on these brass hinges here. Even on these brass hinges, the same glare and lumosity on this thing, it shines just as brightly on the zipper track than it does on this. And the same thing with the brass fittings and the hardware, just like on this tab here. See the under tab, it's got the nice little gold tab on it. It's all nice and shined. This is a very, very nice polished brass. Coach does a good job of this type of thing. This is what they're known for. They're known for high quality items that last a long time. So they don't spend countless amounts of time just trying to play around. Notice, now here's another beautiful thing. This particular item comes with not one of those canvas shoulder straps, but an all leather shoulder strap. See that? And it's very thick. It's about the size of a belt. Just a typical standard thick belt that a guy would wear, in a pair of jeans. It's the same thickness, the same density, and it's got that same quality leather, that same supple leather. Nice grain pattern in it. It's gonna wear very well. It's gonna age very well over time. It has the brass eyelets in the holes that hold it on to the buckles. And these are very thick buckles. This is not your really thin, cheap stuff. These buckles are very thick, and they do get the job done. These buckles, they're hardcore. Of course, insignia, Coach insignia engraved into the fitting. Don't know if you guys can see that or not. Get a nice little focus on that. There we go. Yeah. Do everything with manual focus sometimes. It's better than the auto. So, going back to what I was saying before, this shoulder strap is gonna last the test of time. It's definitely gonna be something that's a little easier to work with versus those canvas shoulder straps, or even the cheaper shoulder straps that break and stuff like that. They get separated and they're just no longer as good as they used to be. Once they start giving and cracking and all that stuff, there's no telling how much weight can crack this thing. If you put a lot of stuff in this bag, I think it separate, start doing some of that wonky stuff. Now, okay, this bag, of course. Now I mentioned the Legacy line a little earlier. This is the closest thing you'll get to the Legacy line. Coach has what they call is glove tan leather. You look right here, and you can see glove tan leather is their version of that Legacy item, that Legacy leather. It's very, very, very supple. It's very strong. It's the type of stuff that's gonna hang in there for a long time. It's some really nice leather. Okay, this is some really good stuff. Never going to be disappointed carrying around a bag with this glove tan leather on it. It is very strong, very durable, very nice, and definitely nothing to complain about. Okay, moving on to the other side of this bag, pointing out over here. One thing I like about Coach are the hang tags. The 1941 line, as you can see, I'm taking this off, has the nice brass fittings on their hang tags. It matches everything else. It's that nice, deep, thick brass. Has a little age look for the history behind it, or whatever have you with the 1941 line. It's got the raised metal horse and carriage logo right there that everyone so loves. Has even a nice, thick chain that matches everything else. So again, this bag retails for about $700. It goes right now, about $700. And you know, if you're lucky, you can get this on sale for about 30 to 40% off. I got this for a 30% off sale. I'm always buying stuff, so I get the inside notification from my coach representative. I have a coach representative pretty much assigned to me that I deal with pretty much every time a new item comes out. I get the call to go in and check it out a little earlier than everybody else. So I go in and look at everything, get on the little list, and they call me up, and we have a little party in there every time something comes out. Beautiful items. And so I go there and we look at these things, and you're never satisfied. You see one thing and you say, oh, I gotta get that. You see something, oh, I gotta get that. And it just goes on and on and on with Coach, man. You buy one item, you want something else. You buy another item, you want something else. It's just that type of party there. The quality of the products is so good. You want to keep going back and purchasing their items. And so, as you can see in the inside of the bag, I didn't show you this, has the original Coach contrast leather. It's that original leather. It's the original bag. You can see it's definitely from the retail division, not a factory bag. A little bit different in factory versus the actual retail store stuff. A little different, a lot better quality leather in most cases. Sometimes not, but a lot of times it is. And so basically, you know, this is what you get when you go to Coach. You're going to get high quality items, something that you can definitely brag about. You can carry for a long time. It's going to last the test of time. It's always going to be the type of items that they're coveted. They're not very cheap. You're going to pay a little bit of money for them. I know there are much more expensive brands out there, your Louis Vuittons and all these good things. In my opinion, the leather quality isn't much better. That's just me, because I've had all those items before as well, and I've previewed them and held them and things like that. I personally believe that Coach continues to be a monument of success. It ends up being the stalwart in this particular industry, and it's always going to be that way. So this particular item, like I said, is something that I'm going to keep for quite some time. I'm going to keep this particular item. It's going to be one of my go-to bags for a long time. And like I said, I am very, very pleased with it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe to the content. I'm going to be dropping more of these videos in regards to the particular items. Like I said, I have a lot more of the 1941 items that I'm going to be previewing on here. None of them I've actually carried. I just have them. I'm going to be carrying a lot of these items, but we do them, and we bring them in and we look at them, review them, and that's what we do. So like, share, and subscribe to the video. Share with your friends, share with your family members, anyone that's into Coach the way that I am, anyone that would actually find value in this, please share it with them. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell once you subscribe, so that you get the latest and the greatest content that I'm going to be uploading. So I look forward to your comments and whatever have you. Please don't try to kill me in the comment section. This is my inaugural video, first one that I've ever done in terms of reviewing an item. So I'm not an expert at this. My first one. So work with me, guys. So I thank you guys very much for your time. Have a blessed day. Arts are out. Peace.